At first glance, these two books seem like they don't have much in common. Peter Senge's book, The Fifth Discipline, discusses the idea of learning organizations and the characteristics of a collaborative learning environment, while Horn and Staker's book, Blend It, is a practical guide for implementing blended learning techniques in K-12 classrooms. The Fifth Discipline has been one of the most influential books on the topic of management on organizational learning and systems thinking. Although this book was not necessarily intended to be used in education, I'm going to explain how it's quite relevant and can be related to the ideas that Horn and Staker talk about in Blended. Horn and Staker define blended learning as any formal education program in which a student learns partly in a supervised brick-and-mortar location away from home and partly through online learning with some element of student control. The modalities along each student's learning path within a course are connected to provide an integrated learning experience. Most blended learning courses fit into the four main models of blended learning. These are rotation, flex, a la carte, and enrich virtual. None of the models are perceived to be better than the other. The model or models that a district should implement should address their goals, objectives, budget, and their students. Senge wrote The Fifth Discipline to destroy the illusion that the world was created out of separate, unrelated forces. He talks about how when we give up this illusion, we can then build learning organizations. These learning organizations can continually expand their capacity to create the results that are truly desired, and where people are continually learning how to learn together. In his book, Senge has identified 5 disciplines of learning organizations. They are personal mastery, mental models, build shared vision, team learning, and last but definitely not least is systems thinking. When the 5 disciplines are applied and integrated, the result is a successful learning environment. The first discipline that I will discuss is personal mastery. This involves a personal commitment to the process of learning. It can be viewed as the foundation of the learning organization because organizations can only learn if the individuals in them learn, which means that schools can only succeed when the students in them succeed. Blended learning allows students to pursue mastery in a personalized manner by tailoring instruction to their needs at their pace. Additionally, when schools embrace online learning, it gives schools the necessary time to focus on other activities such as tutoring and enrichment, allowing students to succeed overall. Mental models is the next discipline that I will discuss. When people don't acknowledge that they have mental models, it can be dangerous because mental models can influence people and affect the way they act. Everyone must set aside old ways of thinking and unlearn unwanted values and instead learn new, useful values. Even though blended learning can help students feel and be more successful, mental models and assumptions can present obstacles for the creative application of blended learning models. People should not make assumptions or generalizations. It's important to have an open mind and reflect in order to challenge previous thinking. Building a shared vision is the next discipline. A shared vision creates focus and energy for learning. When creating a shared vision, it's important to recognize that the entire organization consists of many parts. The vision is an intentional relationship between the parts and the whole. In regards to blended learning, the school needs to think about where they want blended learning to take them, and everyone should understand and agree to a plan of action. A genuine shared vision can change the whole dynamics of a school's culture. This shared vision should become a way of working together towards common goals that has been done so frequently that it becomes a habit. The next discipline is team learning. Learning in groups and teams should be encouraged. Sharing ideas and engaging in dialogue will help identify effective ways to support students' learning. Horn and Staker point out that blended learning is a team sport. One person cannot drive a blended learning program. Everyone must have a role to play in it. Teams can consist of a variety of stakeholders such as teachers, coaches, administrators, parents, students, maybe even community members. Everyone must work together to accomplish the plan. To make a shift towards blended learning, it requires teamwork. In some cases, teams may have to work together to rethink the structure of the school in order to make blended learning possible. Each discipline that I have discussed so far provides an important dimension in building organizations that work together and can truly learn. The fifth discipline, systems thinking, brings all of the other disciplines together. It involves interdependence, seeing how things are connected, and working together as a whole system. The best example of systems thinking is a sports team. For instance, during a soccer match, there are 11 players on the field, and they each have an important role. If the opposing team scores, it's not just the goalie's fault. That ball got through the whole team before it got to the goalie. They all have to work together for the good of the whole team. This is a system, and no one part is greater than the whole. Senge's concept of learning organizations places importance on developing the ability to learn and making that learning continuously available to all organizational members. Systems thinking is a perspective for going beyond events, looking for patterns of behavior and seeking underlying systematic interrelationships which are responsible for the patterns of behavior and the events. If you ever think about the patterns that you have experienced with the factory model of learning, most likely bored and struggling students comes to your mind. Blended learning can change this because it offers a chance for students to learn at their own pace and has the ability to help all students reach their full potential. A learning organization should be able to change and improve based on the lessons of experience. People at all levels, individuals and collectively, should continuously increase their ability to produce results they really care about. This is why teams repeatedly practice strategies, skills, and plays over and over. Blended learning should be implemented with a systems mindset, because when it is done right, it enhances curriculum and provides learners with something they were unable to do before. It has the ability to break through the many barriers and meet students' individual needs. It preserves the benefits of the old and provides new benefits such as personalization, access and equity, and cost control.